Yeah, obviously, very tough challenge here. First night of the basketball season, and great crowd, awesome fan base. Disappointed that bottom line we couldn't get a win for having such great support and a celebration of last year before the game. And trust me, I know as a staff and our players, we all wanted to do everything we could to come out with a win tonight. So disappointed that the final result didn't show that. Obviously, if we keep allowing 91 points, we're going to have a hard time to get those wins. So I think there's some positives to take from tonight, but certainly we're playing the game this year to be a championship team, and we continue to have some work to do to get there.
Coach, kind of turning point this game to be around the 12-minute mark, that second half, the offense just really stalled out. From your eyes, what were the things that the offense was doing that he wasn't doing in that 5-minute stretch?
Yeah, I guess I think that the offense struggled when we weren't getting stops and forcing turnovers, and every single time we were playing against the half-court defense, they had a lot of juice, they had a lot of energy. Kind of their general vibe and energy was really positive during that time, and I think when we felt it slipping a little bit, we didn't have the patience and the discipline to make multiple passes and move the ball a little bit and try to get a good shot. There were certainly some quick shots, almost trying to swing and hit a home run to make up for what maybe was a negative run for a little bit. And we just need to learn how to be together and solid for 40 minutes. Whether they're on offense, whether their team scores or not, we've got to make sure that we're staying in the moment, present, and we're playing on offense to get a good shot and to succeed. I think our defense was just as much at fault during that stretch. I think we forced 10 turnovers in the first, 10 to 12 minutes of the game, and about 4 the rest of the game. So I thought our defensive pressure slipped. I thought they continued to, whereas I thought we probably were the more aggressive team the first, 10 to 15 minutes of the game. I thought the last 25 minutes or so on both ends, they had a physicality and aggressiveness that certainly usually leads to winning, and they certainly did.
Number 11, Hill, he had 31 points for him. What was he doing to kind of reach
A little bit of everything. I guess, you really don't want to let guys make threes and get to the free throw line, and as a team, that's certainly what they did. I know they shot 36 free throws and went 11 for 27 from 3, so they were getting to the rim and having too much space to shoot threes. So, 4 threes and 9 free throws. That's 6 assists. That's a really good game. That's usually going to lead to a lot of success. So, we did not do a good job at making him uncomfortable at anything. We probably need to make sure in those situations we find something to take away. Rather than just trying to guard it all and fail to do so, we need to be a little bit more deliberate about what we're trying to take away and at least make him uncomfortable. And as a smaller guard, obviously, I was hoping that we could use some a little bit more size and physicality, and it didn't seem we were able to make him uncomfortable.
You guys were really unbalanced scoring for a lot of this game, too. You had Baba and Don and Enoch to an extent, too. And other than those 3, you weren't getting much out of anybody till late when you got a little burst out of Julius. And that's when you guys made a run out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're going to have to, we're going to have to get scoring from more people. I think we ended up with 84 points, but, and you want to, I don't think a lack of scoring was probably issue number 1, but no doubt it was certainly weighed heavy towards those guys. I think, for really the second straight, the UAB game and now, we didn't shoot the ball very well, and I think that, when you don't shoot the ball great, teams kind of collapse, and when all of a sudden, as a team, we're not making 3-point shots at the rate that we hope to, I think there's a lot more help defense, and obviously some of those other guys want to try to get to the basket, and there wasn't really space to do so. So we got to figure out how to move the defense, and multiple passes is probably part of them. Passing and cutting and moving and shifting to kind of open up some driving lanes to hopefully get paint touches, so and then either score at the rim or get some driving and kickouts. So as a team, our goal is to score. It's not for any individual to try to score. I guess I don't think it's ever a bad thing when Baba scores like he does. I mean, I think when you can be a presence at the rim, I don't want Baba to not be as aggressive to try to help other people get baskets. At the same time, we do need to have, we cannot be 1 or 2 dimensional on offense. I think you get a little predictable and easy to guard. So we certainly have to look at that tape and figure out what we need to do to make that happen. Yeah, I guess in both of these, really getting to the basket is what he's doing. I mean, he's really, when he's the biggest guy on our team out there, so when he's technically playing the five, I mean, he's not really a center. So, I think he can use his quickness and driving ability, and he hasn't, I think he took 1 3 tonight, but he's worked on his shot in a way where he's very comfortable using that shot fake. I think we're optimistic that you'll see his ability to shoot a little bit. We don't want him shooting a million jump shots. But obviously with these 2 games, I would think a scouting report would be a little bit more focused on him moving forward, and he's going to have to make some adjustments. But at the same time, he's been getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line. He's certainly been playing with a determination on offense, and I don't think when your guy at the 5 spot gets 20 and then 28, I don't think you're ever complaining. I think that hopefully that allows us to get balanced scoring 1 through 4 when we're putting that much pressure on the rim. Yeah, Blaze dove for a ball and landed on his kneecap, and I think we were worried a little bit that there was an issue with his knee. Had an X-ray, had an MRI, and after seeing the doctors, I think a way more positive outlook. So I guess day-to-day might be a little soon, but he's making significant progress every day. I guess I don't know for Saturday, but I would think, I don't want to say week to week. I mean, I guess the impression I get is that we should have him back sooner rather than later. I don't know if that means Saturday or not, but he's made significant. It turned out to be a bone bruise on his knee. So when you have a bruise, obviously there's swelling and stuff like that, but it does heal day by day. So doctors determined that was a bone bruise, and hopefully that makes consistent progress, and hopefully he's back to full strength here soon.
Something that I saw from Don tonight was a lot of times he'd get into the paint and try to get second chance points. Even one time he got an offensive rebound and got an in-one play. Is that something you kind of emphasized with him in the offseason? Was even after a shot, if the play's not done, go back into the paint and try to maybe swipe the ball away from the big or try to reach the habit in the paint?
Yeah, I think we always emphasize staying in the moment, and to his credit, I don't think he ever puts his head down when he misses a shot, Kind of the old school line to say is you follow your shot. I don't know, we try to emphasize making your shot. At the same time, the guy that shoots it can realize if it's going in or not better than anybody, and Don has great instincts, and he's always in the moment, and he's a very instinctual player. So there's no doubt, I think he was, rather than try to draw a foul and act or sulk or anything like that, no doubt Don's an upbeat, positive player that figures out how to kind of just make things happen and staying right there. So I don't know that anything to do with missing a shot and what we do when you miss is a point of emphasis. But we do emphasize staying in the moment and always reacting and not putting your head down when something doesn't go the right way. And I thought he was as good as anybody on our team of that tonight. Yeah, sure is interesting, huh? I haven't watched any film yet on them. Obviously, they won a game in the NCAA tournament last year. I am familiar with them a little bit in general. They have very, very talented players. They play kind of, they play a lot of one-on-one basketball. From what I remember a year ago, they try to put guys in space and empower them to make plays. So obviously we're expecting a very raucous environment down there, and we're going against a team that made the round of 32. So it'll be a heck of a challenge for us. Hey, you go down there and you win that game, then kind of these last 2 challenges for us, they pay off, and that's the point of doing this. We are trying to get back to the NCAA tournament and do better than we did a year ago. That is, we're not treating this like my first season. We're not treating this like any kind of celebration of last year. We're treating this like we're trying to make progress from where we were a year ago, and obviously here at the beginning, we thought there's no better way than to see where we stand up by playing some really strong teams. So it'll certainly be one of our tougher games. I don't know how many games we're playing against a team that won a game in the tournament last year, but the great program, great coach, certainly a great home atmosphere, and we'll certainly need to get a lot better from right now between now and Saturday night. A lot. Ty and Grant Foster at Grand Canyon played for me at Indian Hills for 2 years, from 2018 to 2020. Went to Kansas for a year. Went to DePaul and had a health issue with his heart in his first game at DePaul that caused him to miss the rest of that season and the next season. So had a 2-year break in his college career, more or less, and is back playing at Grand Canyon. He's a special person. I don't know, still to this day, probably every 7 or 10 days we talk. He's somebody that he's always been a unique and special one in my eyes. I mean, when I watched him play as the summer going into his freshman year in college, I thought he was the one now. Like he was that kid that man, he oozed potential and has an upbeat attitude and positivity. I mean, I've always thought that from the moment we got him 6 years ago that he had a chance to be an NBA player. And he is an elite person, and he's grown through it all. And with some of the stuff that he's gone through, you know, most guys would talk about putting their head down. Man, they'd struggle to keep going, or they'd say, "Why me?" And man, he is a strong-willed, upbeat, positive young man. I think the world of him. He's family to me, and especially since it sounds like he's not playing, I'm looking forward to seeing him. Thank you, guys.